Good evening, good morning to all of you. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May we all be blessed with good health, long life, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Dear friends across the world, most welcome to the daily English meditation session. And on Sundays, we have a lecture from a special person who's very closely associated with Vethathiri Maharishi's principles for a number of years. So we always look forward to the Sunday evening. And today, we have Professor Vanmathi from USA, Michigan State. It'll be a great pleasure to listen to her because even as a college student, she was spiritually oriented and took the Sky program, apart from attending various other programs in Chennai, in Mumbai. And then she went abroad. She did a MA in yoga and also MA in human development. And now she's working as a Montessori teacher. She's also, along with her husband, Satya Prakash ji, has been instrumental in running a center in USA. So both professionally, she's taking care of educating the children. And that, Montessori is a special type of education, we all know, where so much of freedom is given to the children to grow according to their natural talents. Exactly what Vethathiri Maharishi has been saying, that each individual is unique. Everyone is different. And it is for us to find out what is that speciality in us, the strengths and weaknesses, and then try to reach perfection from there. So she has been gifted by both her profession as well as her interest in spiritual things. And today she is going to talk about spiritual health. Now that's a subject all of us are looking forward to, because we know when we talk about health, we know about physical health, we know about mental health also. Even UNESCO talks about health means well-being, physical, mental, social well-being. That's what it talks about. Even spiritual health, they are not talking, even UNESCO. And when we talk about spirit, we are all afraid of spirits, isn't it? So we have no idea about spirit, what is spiritual health. So she is going to address us and raise our spirits. Okay. So I warmly welcome on behalf of our daily group meditation online program and requested to enlighten us on spiritual health. Thank you, welcome.
Thank you so much, Professor. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. Am I audible and am I visible too?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May all of us enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, wisdom, prosperity, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன். I invoke the blessings of our Guru, Sri Yogiraj Vethathiri Maharishi, to guide us throughout. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Guru வாழ்க, Guruவே துணை. I'm indeed so blessed, and I feel so glad that I could connect with you all today in this Sky Online forum. And I greatly feel thankful, and I greatly appreciate the efforts of our senior professor, Balachandran Ayya, and along with his team for all his initiatives to connect the entire world with Vedathriyam, the principles of Vedathriyam. So thank you, Balachandran Ayya. வாழ்க வளமுடன். So as our professor was mentioning today, it's about spiritual health. And today we are going to discuss on this spiritual health. So what is the spiritual health all about? So what do we understand about spirituality? So we are going to dive deep into that. Yeah, true. So we have different notions, connotations about spirituality as such. So why is the spiritual health so very different from the normal health that we talk about, the physical health and the mental health? So is it something different from that, or is it encompasses all the physical and mental aspect of it? So that's what we are going to dive deep into. So today's topic on spiritual health, I would like to begin with the famous quote: when wealth is lost, something, we would say, when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. And when your character is lost, everything is lost. So how we are understanding this quote? Like when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. That's true. Like when we lose our hard-earned money, hard-earned property, or whatever we have been saving all these years in the materialistic point of view, if we have lost it for any circumstance, for any situation in our life, so we can definitely regain it. And we know from the life history of our guru, like how he had to be on streets or almost, he could regain his he could come out of his financial crisis. And that's true with all of us. Like when we lose our, when we undergo some financial crisis, it's matter of time and our effort to get back to it. But what about health? When health is lost, the famous quote says that something is lost. So is it true when we lose our health, do we lose only something? So let us analyze with an example. Say, like when I was working in the kitchen, if I had, just by accident, if I cut my finger and if I'm undergoing lots of pain, and if that time when my daughter comes, my 3-year-old, when she comes and talks to me, will I be able to attend her in the normal way that I usually talk to her? No, I would just respond in a different way. No, I'm in pain. Just don't come and talk to me right now. So the same thing, you would have analyzed the situation of a person who's in deep agony, who's undergoing lots of pain, and who's undergoing lots of physical problem. I have an example of my friend, so who underwent had to undergo the long process of cancer. It was really very sad situation for the entire family to undergo that trauma, and she was not a normal person anymore. Like she, despite of the pain and all the treatments that was going on in her body, and she just cut off herself from the entire social circle. And it was a complete issue for the entire family. She was not the same person. She could not maintain the same relationship with her spouse and with the taking care of the children, and how she was mentally upset. We know, though the physical problem is there in the body, how we get mentally disturbed because of that. All our mental energy gets drained off when we are undergoing so much pain in the body. All your mental strength is gone. And definitely your social circle, not only the relationship within the family, the relationship with your extended family, you're not able to talk and respond in the same way that you usually used to do when you were in good health. So definitely your social relationship gets affected, and you're not performing in the same way professionally, and your professional circle is also getting affected. So when we are affected by physical ailment, what happens is your mental problems come up. You are not mentally strong like before, and your social circle also gets affected. So all these three things becomes a question mark. So that's how we understand that when health is lost, it's not something is lost. When health is lost, we obviously there is change in character, there is change in the words, and there's change in the deeds, how we talk and how we behave because of the pain and agony that we are undergoing. So definitely there is a change in the character. So when health is lost, it's not something is lost. It's actually you lose your character. And as the proverb says, as the famous quotation says, you lose your character and you lose everything. So when health is lost, everything is lost. That's how we have to understand in true sense. So as Professor Balachandran Ayya was telling the definition of health, then there's a beautiful definition given by WHO. Health is a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being. And it's not mere absence of disease or infirmity. So disease is something that is manifesting in the physical body. But what about the mental health? We know now there is a major problem that we all face is depression, irrespective of the highest degree you have earned in your college, maybe the doctorate degree, and you know how many people, the highly educated people in the society are still undergoing depression. It's really an alarming number if you go through the statistics that people affected by depression. And it's not only educated or the adult people, it is youngsters, because of the stress in their life, because of the career issues, and because of the family problems. How many youngsters are being affected by depression? That is again an alarming statistics. So when we see the mental health is something vital, and it's important to address to the mental health when we are talking about health. And the scientific journals nowadays, they talk about like health is not only the physical ailments that is manifesting in the body, it is also related to the mental issues, because all these ailments in the physical body are psychosomatic. That is, they have their origin in the mind. Before the symptoms manifest in the body for any disease, the root cause is there in the mind. So most of the lifestyle problems, lifestyle diseases that we are facing today, like may it be depression, or may it be hypertension, or may it be diabetics, and which is the base for all the problems, all the other issues to grow up, like these basic issues like hypertension and the constipation and all these basic issues end up in some major problem, major issue in the body. So these are actually psychosomatic. They have their origin, they are lifestyle problems, they have their origin in the mind. So when the mind is taken care, so these symptoms almost they can be treated. So that's what now scientific research is coming up with. So when we understand that how the body and mind, the psychosomatic relationship between the manifestation of diseases in the body have its origin in the mind. So how this body and mind is connected when we talk about health. So without missing this link between body and mind. So let us just take a few seconds in introspecting all the health habits that you have been following all these years. Maybe most of us here are maybe 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus, or 50 plus. So let us just quickly evaluate, take a few seconds and evaluate the health practices. Maybe like you have been walking, taking a long walk, or maybe you're working in a gym, or maybe you're following some other health yogic practices, whatever. So does those practices really take care of your physical health, of your mental health, and also keep you happy? Being a social well-being gives you the social well-being that you are having a very good relationship with your family, with your spouse, with your children, with your extended family, your professional circle. So does that health practices address all the three aspects of health, that is the physical, mental, and social well-being? So just take a few seconds to evaluate your practices, the health practices that you're doing. So if so, I'm really glad and good. So if not, we have to really introspect on our health practices, what we are doing. So when I say health has to address all these three aspects. So what do I mean? So is there an health definition, which even as Balachandran Iyer was mentioning, which even the WHO has missed about addressing the spiritual health? So that is the beauty, like spiritual health covers all these three aspects, the physical, mental, and social well-being. So when I say so, what do I mean? Spiritual health. What does spirituality actually means? So are we understanding spirituality in the right sense? What is spirit? So as our guru, may it be any topic in this world that we are going to talk about, has a Vethathirian perspective to it, because our guru Vethathiri Maharishi has touched upon all the topics, because he has a vast thinking, like he has covered everything under this universe. So when we talk about spiritual health, this topic, which has convergence with science and philosophy and spirituality, so we should understand the true sense of spirituality. So here he gives the beautiful, he just analyzes the word, what does spirituality in true sense means. That is also a contribution of Maharishi to language, because any field, he has contributed so much to all the field, may it be science or philosophy or economics or agriculture or psychology as such. But here, his contribution to language, that is analyzing the word origin, like he has analyzed what spirituality actually means. Spirituality is not what we commonly understood about the ritualistic practice in worshipping of God. It's not ritualistic. Spirituality is not rituals, not only rituals. It is much more deeper into that. So spirituality means spirit, understanding the spirit, the worship of the spirit within you. And we needn't be scared of spirit. Spirit is not something that is to be scared of. Spirit is there inside within us. What is the spirit? Spirit is nothing else than the life energy, the life force that is operating inside us. So I may sound metaphysical when we talk about spirit, or when we talk about the life force energy, the life energy that is circulating inside us. So, but the truth is that here is the convergence of science and philosophy. We have to understand, and we are in that era to bring together science and philosophy to understand the true nature of spirit or the life force. Because science is still having its limitation in understanding the spirit or the life force. Though the scientists, even the greatest scientists, they have understood that there is some operating force, that is the life, because without which you're not alive, and the body is called as something else, a dead body, and you're not alive anymore. But where is this? Science has a biggest billion-dollar question about where is this life force? What is this life force? Is it there in the body? Then how would I really view with the microscope? If I'm not able to view with the microscope, then I say, okay, it's not there. It cannot be like that. That's the limitation of science. But philosophy has a much more deeper understanding about the life force, that is the spirit operating inside us. So what is this life force? So we all know the origin of this infinitesimal energy particle that is operating as the life force inside our body. So this infinitesimal energy particle is nothing but the formative dust that has raised from the divine state, that is the absolute space. So in science, if we try to understand it, it's the potential energy. So everything is energy. That we could understand from Einstein's formula of E is equal to mc square. And any mass is an event. It can be converted into energy. And we are all energy forms. And everything before me, may it be the inanimate objects before me, is still an energy form. So we could understand in scientific terms about the energy. So the potential energy, which is there, the static form, from the self-compressive force of the potential energy, how this kinematic energy, that is the infinitesimal energy particle, which has originated from the potential energy as a form of kinetic energy. So and always the energy is it's transformed into one form or the other. We know there is no complete loss of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It is only transformation of energy. So we understand that in science. So how this energy, the infinitesimal energy particle, has transformed into different forms, and it's the same infinitesimal energy particle that is operating inside us as the life force. So in spiritual health, we are going to dive deep into maintaining this life force, strengthening this life force, which is the infinitesimal energy particle that is operating inside me, that is keeping me alive, that is keeping me spiritful. So when we call, in common term, just let's try to understand, when we call somebody as a spiritful person, what do we actually mean? A person who's very energetic, who's very enthusiastic, and is said to be a spiritful person. So if we try to understand in common terms, so a person who's full of energy, life energy, that is full of life, we call them as a spiritual person too. So is there a health practice that helps you to boost your spirit inside, to boost your life energy inside? And we understand this is the life energy, that is the operating system in our body. Though the medical science can see the physical body, the fundamental unit of the physical body is the cells that we could see with our microscope. And what is the force that is binding all the cells together? Is the life force. And this life force, because of its circular motion, it emanates an energy, which we call it as the biomagnetic energy. And now science has advancement in studying the biomagnetic energy of a person. And you would have all come across about the word aura. Aura is the biomagnetic field. And there are many scientific techniques to capture the aura, that is the biomagnetic field of a person. And we call that photography as a Kundalini photography. So you can go ahead and Google about a Kundalini photography that captures the aura, that is the biomagnetic field of a person. So in understanding what is this biomagnetism, biomagnetism is the energy that operates us, that helps me, keeps me alive, and that helps me to do all my activities, maybe the voluntary, the involuntary, every action, everything inside me that is happening at the expenditure of the biomagnetic energy that I'm using to do all my involuntary actions, the heartbeat or the digestion, whatever is happening inside me, and all my voluntary actions, like I'm able to talk, hear, see, and do all my activities. So all the operating system in my body is through the biomagnetic energy. So where does this biomagnetic energy originate from? From the life force particle, because of the constant circulation of the life force particle. We know, according to the scientific law, when there is a circular motion, and there are two forces that exhibit on the circular motion, that is the centripetal and centrifugal force. Because of this force on this life force particle, which is circulating in our body, the emergent wave is called as the biomagnetic wave, and that is the operating system of our body. So let's try to understand it. For maybe all the Vethathirians who have been introduced to sky practices know this in detail. Just for the newcomers, if I had to explain this biomagnetic energy in simple terms, our guru explains it by the electricity, by understanding electricity, how it's the same electricity that operates the refrigerator, the TV, or the light system, the audio system, everything in our house. It's the same biomagnetic energy which has originated from the life force is operating all my system. So is there a practice to enhance the biomagnetic energy, to enhance the life force in our body, which addresses the physical, mental, and social well-being? So if I'm full of energy, obviously, if there is enough current supply in your house, you can operate anything, your refrigerator, your your heating system, your laptops, everything. So in the same way, if I have enough life force energy, life force particle in my body, definitely I'm full of energy. I'm fully energetic. That takes care of my physical health, that takes care of my mental health, and that takes care of my social well-being. Yeah, if I'm so energetic, and that energy is spent, it just radiates out of you to not only take care of your own self. You'll be so active in taking more responsibilities, taking care of your family, taking care of your extended friend circle, and definitely professionally you'll be performing so good if you're full of life and full of energy. So how how our health practice? So what is that health practice that takes care of our to keep us full of energy, to addresses the spiritual component, the spiritual aspect, the spiritual health? So definitely the one answer is the simplified Kundalini yogic practices that our guru has designed. And we know we all have a good introduction to the sky practices. Like, what are all the sky practices that we have? That is the Kayakalpa yoga, which is the crux of the simplified Kundalini yoga, and the physical exercise, simplified physical exercise, the meditation practice, and the introspection practice. So let us take few minutes here to deeply understand, like, what all these aspects of sky is enhancing our spiritual health. It's directly contributing not only to your physical, mental, and social well-being. It enhances our holistic health, the spiritual health. So let us take few seconds, few minutes, and understand what is this Kayakalpa all about. We all know Kayakalpa is the only exercise in the entire world that addresses that helps to strengthen your life force. And what are other exercises that you name it, or you have explored in this in your life? It might be for the muscles, or it might be for the fat reduction, or something like that. But is there a practice? Is there an exercise that addresses on to take care of your life force? Yes, Kayakalpa is the only thing that helps to strengthen our life force. So definitely by doing this Kayakalpa, you become a very energetic person. Your life force is strengthened. And what is this simplified physical exercise? Simplified physical exercise is we know our guru himself, he gives an assurance by doing this simplified physical exercise, how an harmony between your body and life, the life force is established. The blood circulation, heat circulation, and air circulation is all taken care. There is an harmony between all the circulation. When there is an harmony, you become a holistic person. You become, there is an harmony within your own self. There is an harmony with the words and deeds just by doing the physical exercise. So how simple is that, right? Because when you feel an harmony within yourself, because your blood circulation, heat circulation, air circulation are all flowing harmoniously, you're at peace. Definitely, just by doing this simplified physical exercise, you have our guru has assured that harmony. And again, about the meditation and introspection practices. So what is meditation? We have n number of meditation practices in simplified Kundalini yoga. So all these meditational practices focuses on the life force. So focuses on the mind. So mind is again the psychic extension of the life force. It is the same biomagnetic energy which is operating through the senses that I am able to perceive, the same biomagnetic energy that is operating through my brain cells as mind. So that is a beautiful definition of mind, how mind works. So as we understand mind as a psychic extension of the life force. So it is the life force that operates our mind, that helps me to think, that helps me to contemplate deeply on all the things. So when we are plugging our mind, that is the life force, into focusing on our life force itself. So how it is amplified, that is your life force is getting amplified, how you're focusing on your life force with your life force. So it gets amplified. So how your concentration span increases when you're doing this meditation practices. So how beautifully they have been designed by our guru. And this introspection, like when you're able to strengthen your mind with increase your willpower by doing meditation, and by doing introspection, we are able to utilize that willpower. How, like if I give an example, like a sharpened knife, when you're sharpening a knife, you should also know how to use that sharpened knife. The same sharpened knife can be used either ways. It can cause harm to others, or the knife can be used for many productive purpose too. So in the same way, when the willpower of the mind is increased with meditation, so how that willpower is going to be I'm going to use it in my day-to-day daily activities. So that is all about the practices followed in SKY, Simplified Kundalini Yoga, the Kayakalpa, Simplified Physical Exercise, Introspection, Meditation, and all these addresses the life force, that is the spiritual health, that helps you to become enlightened with spirit, become so much spiritful, so much lively, so much enthusiastic person, that addresses all your physical health will be taken care. Definitely your mind is going to be very active, your mental health is going to be taken care, and of course your social health will be taken care, the social well-being will be taken care. So how our simplified Kundalini yoga addresses to the spiritual health? So, okay, we all know this knowledge. We all have this knowledge, like how Kundalini, simplified Kundalini practices helps to enhance our spiritual health. But despite of knowing this, so is it enough that just by knowing this, are we good enough? So how to bring it into practice? I know many of us, we're definitely practicing it. It would have become our lifestyle, like doing Kayakalpa, exercise and meditation and introspection would have definitely become our lifestyle. But for the beginners, or I would still raise a question, like, are you able to put it into practice, all this knowledge that you have known through the SKY forums like this, and from the centers, SKY centers, are you really able to put into practice? How much dedicated you're doing your Kayakalpa or the exercises without skipping even a single day, all the times, doing Kayakalpa morning, evening, and the meditation practice, how much you're able to bring it into practice, that is getting habituated of all this. So is it really happening? So if it is happening, I'm so glad and I feel so good. But if it's not happening, so we should definitely evaluate. We should definitely analyze. So what is the lacuna? Where am I missing? Why I'm not able to, despite of having this greatest knowledge, the life education, to know about myself, to study about myself, which is we always go out in search of knowledge. We go out in studying the space, and studying physics, atoms and chemistry, studying, we have always extended our knowledge outside. But this education, which is not provided in any of the school or college, about knowing the study of your own self, the study of what I'm made up of, how everything is getting operated inside me, what I'm eating, how it's converted into the energy. So all these, the study about our own self. So greatest salutations to our guru for giving us this education, life education to us. So despite of having this knowledge, are we really putting into practice? So that's the question mark. If not, so let us do a small analysis. So this is SWOT analysis. We all would have known about SWOT analysis. What is the SWOT? As strength, the abbreviation of SWOT. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So generally, we would have come across this SWOT analysis for any business organization that is trying to enhance its capabilities, expand its business profits, they do SWOT analysis. But let us do SWOT analysis for our own self. Let us analyze our strength. Let us analyze our weakness. Let us analyze our opportunities and threats and see how far like we are able to, what is missing, what is something that we are not able to do our practices, the SKY practices. So definitely, maybe you can grab a journal, have a pen or pencil, and quickly draw a big square and divide it into 4 quadrants, and let the first quadrant be the strength, the second quadrant be the have space to list down your weakness, and the third quadrant have space to list down your opportunities, and the fourth quadrant have space to list down the threats. So maybe not now, or you can just do it mentally, or you can just inculcate the habit of maintaining a spiritual diary in which you do the SWOT analysis for you. So just sharing my few things about my SWOT analysis, which I had done. So definitely my strength is knowing this rich knowledge about the SKY practices. And definitely I'm also practicing in my life. And my weakness is definitely like a few weaknesses that I would like to share, like the time management that I'm trying to really work hard on it. And sometimes I become very reactive, and I tend to procrastinate things. So these are some few points that I have listed down as my weaknesses, and you can go ahead and work on your weaknesses. And the opportunity that I have listed is like a group practice. We have number of groups to practice the SKY practices, like the exercises or Kayakalpa or the meditation. And we have number of groups. And in US we have this SKY meditative meditation group. We have one Zoom ID, and where meditation and exercise happens in different time. So it's good to connect with the group. So a group always helps you to sail along. So I have this opportunity of being able to practice with a group. And some of the threats that I have analyzed for myself is like the family responsibility, like you as an young mother, how much time you have to devote to your family, the family responsibility. And trying to balance work-life balance. I really struggle hard at times to balance my work life. So these are the threats which I have to address in my practice when I really tend to keep up with my SKY practices for the spiritual health. So let's, if we really list down, after listing down all your strengths and threats, all your weaknesses and threats, when I pick up each and every one of my weakness and threat, if I try to analyze, it just majorly falls into 4 categories that our guru has given. You can also do the same thing, like pick up each and every one of your weakness or the threat that you have analyzed so far. So see that you can have a big tabular column and see which one of the category it falls in. Is it because of innocence? Is it because of ignorance? Is it because of the sensual pleasure? Or is it because of something hereditary, that this habit is hereditary? So for example, the weakness, I would like to just analyze one of my weakness and one of my threat. So let us go ahead quickly analyze, like it will fall into any one of this category. Like one of the weakness is the time management, but which I see, which will definitely not fall into innocence, because I know I have the greatest knowledge of SKY practices given by our guru. I have come to know about this. Will it fall under ignorance? Yes, I see that the time management issues with me falls under ignorance, because I have not prioritized my SKY practices if I'm missing it. So how am I going to my time management issue, which falls under alertium or ignorance, not being prioritized for the SKY practices as a daily routine? So how I'm going to address that? And one of the threat which I see, the work-life balance. So where will that fall under? So we have to analyze all these things. Work-life balance is, again, like if I'm not able to balance my professional life with my personal life. So where is the lacuna? So even that will fall under alachiyam. Like I'm ignorant of analyzing it properly. So let us go ahead, and time management is something like we all need to really work on. Not only me, or we all. I have seen even youngster as young as like 10 years old who would say that, oh, I don't have time for exercise. I don't have time for this. So is it really? Are we not having time, or are we not prioritizing our work? So we all have only just 24 hours. So how about how we are going to manage this 24 hours? So maybe we can split it into like 10 plus 10 plus 4. So 10 plus 10 plus 4, so 24 hours. So 10 hours, just let's analyze this first 10 hour. 10 hours is major important is for your sleep. Maybe 6 to 8 hours you take for sleep. And there you have the remaining 4 to 2 hours, which definitely you can dedicate to your family, or taking care of your family, or cooking, or all the responsibilities as a parent you have. The next 10 hour, again, if we split it into 8 plus 2, like most of us have professional work to take care. So 8 hours of work, that's what the normal work routine that we have, 8 hours of professional work. So there, if I really need to balance my work life, so there, instead of this 8 hours, can I really cut down to 4 hours? So is it possible if I can take a part-time job, if I'm not the primary breadwinner of the family? Okay, so because I have extra additional family responsibility to balance that work life, am I able to cut down my professional life? Like instead of 8 hours of work time, can I take a part-time job for 4 hours and give that remaining 6 hours to my family, taking care of my family? So all these duties is really important. So again, okay, so family is taken care of, your professional and your sleep. So these are some primary things are taken care of in this 20 hours. So what about this remaining 4 hours? Are we still able to take out this 4 hours to our own self, my own me time, to practice sky practices? So isn't it not possible? Okay, if not 4 hours, okay, let us have this 4 hours we have. But how about dedicating at least 1 hour, at least 1 hour for our sky practices? If we are still not able to do that, we have to really question our lifestyle. What am I doing? Where am I going to end up if I'm not able to spend even an hour for my own physical, mental, and social well-being, the spiritual practices, the spiritual practice of simplified Kundalini yoga to enhance my life force? Because we know how, just by practicing Kundalini yoga, how we are going to be a spiritful person. So definitely we have to introspect, like how to take about at least an hour out of this 24 hours for my dedicated sky practice. So with that, I would like to quickly wind up. Like after having got this greatest knowledge about life education in our life, without practicing Kayakalpa, after learning Kayakalpa, if you're not practicing, in my knowledge, in my understanding, it is a sin. And after learning simplified exercise, if you're not practicing, it is really it's really a problem. In my understanding, it's really a wrong deed that you're doing. And after learning meditation and after learning introspection, if you're not able to practice it, it's something, a problem that you're creating to yourself. So in my knowledge, after learning these practices, if you're not able to bring it into your day-to-day habit setting, then it's it's a sin. So our guru, he has dedicated all his life for our well-being. So that would be the greatest salutation, the greatest gratitude, the greatest tribute that we could submit to him, because that just last Monday was his Vethathiri Velvi Dinam. So as we recall him, not only on Vethathiri Velvi Dinam, it is on daily basis, every moment of our life, as we recall, the greatest tribute that we can submit to him is just by practicing the sky practices, taking out time, evaluating yourself, introspecting yourself, to take out time to practice sky exercises, sky practices. So with that, I would like to conclude with Thirukural. So Ulaga Thirumarai, we call it as a common book for the entire world. So it says that Nedunir Maravi Madituyil Nangum Kedunir Kamakkalan. That is, procrastination, forgetfulness, sloth, and sleep are boats that self-doomed love to keep. So even after knowing, if we are just procrastinating, if we are just forgetful of doing this sky practices, and if we are lazy, so that is self-dooming ourselves. So with that great quotation of Thirukural, I would like to conclude speech. Thank you so much. Be blessed by the divine. All cover model.